Hi everybody! We have worked hard this year learning about some famous artists like Frida Kahlo, Vincent van Gogh, and George Seurat. We've learned about where they lived, what kind of art they did, and some key details about their lives. We have also been able to make some artwork like these famous artists. But today is a special day for you and your class. You are going to visit a museum that has other famous pieces of artwork right here in Tucson. This museum is called the Tucson Museum of Art. A museum is a place where famous statues are sitting and where famous paintings and drawings are hanging on the walls so that all of us can see them. I showed you a picture of a museum during our first lesson about Vincent van Gogh. Do you remember that? During spring break, I had the opportunity to visit the Tucson Museum of Art to get ready for your visit today. I took actual pictures of this museum so that you can get an idea of what you're going to be seeing later. I hope this little video gets you ready for your visit.
This photo is of the main lobby of the museum. Behind where the people are standing is a very expensive gift shop of fancy paintings and lots of glass things that are very breakable. We will not be going into this gift shop or spending any money at this museum. Once you go into this store, I would like your museum behavior to start. We want Desert Winds to be the best behaved field trip the museum has ever seen. When you enter these doors, your voices should only be whispers. It is a social expectation that you whisper and be quiet in the museum. Visitors of museums like to stand and look at art and reflect about what they think the art makes them feel or remember. We do not want to bother any other visitors to the museum while we are there. You should also whisper so that you can hear your teacher's directions, so that you can also hear the facts and details your docent is going to tell you about the art. What is a docent, you ask? The docent is a volunteer that comes to the museum to tell people about art. Your group will have their own docent. Please treat them with respect and let them speak without interruption so that you can learn the most. I am very sure they will ask if you have any questions. That would be the perfect time to speak and ask questions.
This is the place where you will be eating lunch after your tour. As you can see, this isn't a fun playground or park. We just don't have time to go to one of those before we get on the buses to come back to school. So we will be eating quickly and then coming right back to school. Please make sure you sit with your group instead of running around. Boys and girls, please do not get rambunctious or play in the fountains. We want to be good examples.
The inside of the museum mostly looks like this. The statue you see at the bottom is by a very famous sculptor named Augustin Rodin. We will be studying about him and other sculptors during the month of April for our last art lesson of the year. This statue and a few other paintings happen to be of naked people. I know that probably makes you giggle, but we all have bodies under our clothes we wear, don't we? Artists just happen to find the body fascinating to paint and sculpt because it takes a lot of time and effort to make them look real. Let's do our best to not make a big deal of this while we are at the museum, okay?
This picture shows you that many of the famous art pieces are under glass and need to be taken care of. The docent that I spoke to while I visited the museum told me that she likes it best when kids come to the museum and keep their hands behind their backs. This helps keep the artwork clean and free of fingerprints. It also doesn't let anything get knocked down. So let's do this, please.
Notice something special about this photo? The girl has her feet on the line by the tile that is nearest the wall. By keeping your feet behind that tile, she makes sure not to bump the wall and knock the picture down, and it also helps keep her hands off of the painting. The docents are going to ask you to follow the same rule, please.
The museum is built with a bunch of ramps and slanted walkways. This is the easiest way for visitors to walk casually and to see everything. But these ramps often look like fun places to run for children. Please, please, make sure that this does not happen from our Desert Winds visitors. The docents and security guards will ask you to stop running if you do so. Let's make it a school-wide goal to have no one asked to stop running.
We just wanted to point out that you will see this picture. It is a great example of pointillism. George Seurat, artist friend named Paul Signat, painted this picture. It kind of looks like Sunday in the Park, doesn't it?
One of the rooms you will be taken to has some Latin American art. You might have seen things like this at the street fair or in Mexico if you have visited there. This room is going to be very bright and colorful.
In this room, there is a wall of some very detailed and pretty masks. But if the masks scare you for any reason, just turn away and go look at other things.
Besides going to the museum today, you are also going to get to make a piece of art with something called oil pastels. This building is the place where that will happen. This building is much more kid-friendly and is used for kid activities all of the time. It will be much more acceptable to be yourself, to talk, and to have a good time.
When you get to your art classroom, it will look like this and have an art teacher there to help you make a fabulous picture. Please act like you do here at Desert Winds with your own teacher. Raise your hand, stay in your seat, be polite and kind. I know you'll do a terrific job. When you are done with your picture, please make sure to give it to an adult in your group so that you can give it to your teacher. Your teacher will keep these art pieces for our art show that your parents will be coming to in May.
Mr. Singer and I hope that you guys have a fabulous field trip, and we can't wait to hear all about what you learned and what you liked the best. Have a great time today, boys and girls, and please remember to follow the 4 Bs and be the best kid visitors the Tucson Museum of Art has ever seen.